Obviously, the most convenient reason behind this whole project was my own personal love and fascination for Mendelssohn's music, because I have listened to his music from the very young age. I remember when I was about 4 years old or something like that, my parents had a CD of Mendelssohn's music, and there were Italian Symphony and Reformation Symphony, and then on the second CD was Midsummer Night's Dream Overture and incidental music, and also Violin Concerto. And I think it was this quite interesting combination of romanticism and also his way to orchestrate. Mendelssohn is and was a brilliant orchestrator, and he really knew how to create soundscapes within the orchestra that is keeping the listener's attention in its fullest. I think that was the one reason, and also at the same time Mendelssohn is capable of creating all kind of stories within the music. In the first movement of the Italian Symphony, you can listen to it and just enjoy it as it is, as a fast movement with all kind of effects in the woodwinds and strings and brass and long-lined melodies there. But also at the same time it's very realistic, I think, musical storytelling of the Italian day when there's warm weather outside and sun is shining and everything is so beautiful and lovely. And also in the second movement of the Italian Symphony, Mendelssohn is creating image of the pilgrims that are marching towards the streets, and so he's creating these very vivid and very lifelike images in his orchestrations. So I think these was the two main reasons that caught very early my attention to Mendelssohn's music. Well, as regards this Sixth Symphony of Mendelssohn, I actually didn't know about anything about this Sixth Symphony until 2020, when I read in summer Tots, who is very distinguished Mendelssohn specialist. His Mendelssohn essays, they are his writings about Mendelssohn. He is dedicating the whole chapter for this Sixth Symphony, for the unfinished symphony by Mendelssohn. When I read the book, there was also musical examples of the Sixth Symphony, and there Todd is explaining in detail the whole history of the Sixth Symphony, not only musically but also historically. He is going through all the Mendelssohn correspondence, what is found for the Sixth Symphony, and he is also telling about, in those musical examples, the content of the sketches that is preserved in the Oxford Bodleian Library. He's speculating on the reasons behind the unfinished state of this work, and very fascinatingly he is going through the whole symphony, and as I just explained my fascination from the very young age for Mendelssohn's music, this obviously caught my attention. When I was reading this chapter, I realized that sketches would be so large number that it would be possible to reconstruct these two movements, Mendelssohn's own sketches for these two movements. I realized that, and then I took contact to the library, and I asked a possibility to receive digital copies of those manuscript pages. And in May 2022, I received those copies from the library, and during the summer after that, I proofread those and engraved those with the notation software, and also I made the short score of those sketches. During the next couple of months, then I orchestrated the first movement in the spring 2023, and then after the summer the second movement, and the second movement was finished in November, and then in March 2024 the whole work was published with Universal Edition. And as an example, here you can see the opening of the symphony, the first movement. And this page is completely by Mendelssohn, this orchestration. This is the first page of the sketch that is preserved in the Oxford Bodleian Library. And this is like a sunrise during the springtime, very lovely. The first radiance of light, sunrise in the morning, and then this beautiful long line melody by violas and cello. And also then when we are taking a look to this second movement, I want to explain something about this reconstruction, how it is formed there. There, as you can see, is the first clarinet introducing this beautiful melody, like a song without words. Mendelssohn invented this genre for solo piano together with his sister Fanny. And there is this second clarinet line. It is my own. One can literally see how this Mendelssohn's own writing is combining to my own writing there. So they are almost 200 years apart of these lines. And also there by strings, these first and second violin lines are by Mendelssohn. And this is very fascinating that Mendelssohn is actually adding. There's clearly pizzicato there in the manuscript, and also this trill above this note there on both strings. Trills by pizzicato strings is something that no one had done before. So Mendelssohn was clearly here ahead of his time. And then these viola and cello and double bass lines are my additions to this Mendelssohn material. So here one can see very clearly what was done, what was by Mendelssohn and what was by me, and how these both things are combined together to create very Mendelssohn-like, very authentic-like the musical whole that is sounding like a real Mendelssohn. And that was the whole target of this project, to create as realistic and as authentic reconstruction of this Sixth Symphony as possible.